Now the details. I hope you have been having a great week. President Paul Kagame has congratulated President Philippe Nyusi and the people of Mozambique on the successful implementation of the disarmament, demobilization and reintegration of RENAMO ex-combatants, marking an important milestone towards the completion of the Mozambican peace process. The Rwandan head of state has noted that although he was not able to be there in person for the ceremony as planned, he nevertheless wishes the people of Mozambique continued success. Rwanda's Minister of Defense, Juvenal Marizamunda, went to Maputo representing His Excellency the President of the Republic at the national celebration of the successful implementation of the disarmament, demobilization and reintegration of RENAMO ex-combatants. Minister Marizamunda and his delegation also held consultations with their Mozambican counterparts at that country's Ministry of Defense. Now, staying in Mozambique, the senior defense and security advisor to His Excellency the President of Rwanda and Commander-in-Chief of the Rwanda Defense Force, General James Kabarebe, has visited the Rwandan security forces operating in the province of Cabo Delgado. He was received by the Rwandan Security Forces Joint Task Force Commander Major General Eugene Hubito, who briefed him on the progress registered in their counter-terrorism operations in the province. During interactions with the Rwandan Security Forces, General Kabarebe conveyed a message from His Excellency President Paul Kagame, appreciating their commitment in fulfilling their duties and encouraged them to remain steadfast and dedicated in achieving good results. Now to other matters. Rwanda and different donors have mobilized $300 million to deal with the effects of climate change. This was among other things was agreed upon during the Finance Summit, which took place in Paris. We have the details with Shina Teta.
The performance of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank is among what was embarked on during the Finance Summit that happened in Paris. The President of France, Emmanuel Macron, emphasized on the need for re-innovations in these institutions. Still on this matter, the Director General of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, pointed out that the fund works well with countries that have stable investment programs, highlighting the example of Rwanda and Barbados. The Finance Summit in Paris also provided ground to discuss about issues related to investment, poverty reduction and environmental conservation. The Rwandan Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Uziel Ndagijimana, confirms that from this summit, Rwanda has drawn new efforts as far as dealing with climate change is concerned.
Officials discussed about the enhancement of performance of the global financial institutions, how to assist countries with loan-related issues, and cooperation to address issues linked to poverty reduction and climate change. Specifically, Rwanda had a meeting with different partners on how to increase investment for various projects to deal with climate change, and we have now mobilized $300 million to finance all that.
Developing countries in particular say that it is time for the world economic institutions to enhance their performance given the current increasing inequality between countries, implying challenges in poverty reduction. Shina Teta, RTV News.
Now, staying in France, on Friday, the second and final day of the summit of a new global financing pact that was taking place in Paris, Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente told participants that working with partners is crucial in developing health sectors. He used Rwanda's experiences to show just how important key partnerships were in transforming the country's health sector, significantly improving the lives of people.
And what you have seen in Rwanda is that with that partnership we have been building since more than 10 years ago, we are gaining results now in terms of healthcare system. What you have done, we have seen even a result in terms of life expectancy, which has been improved over 20 years, but also some other key indicators in terms of health systems. What you have done is, once first when you want to build health systems, you need to focus on different things, including the key ones, which are having health facilities. And you can't do that as African country because you need resources. You need to partner with different experts, but also different MDBs and other financiers. So you have to have health facilities first because the population is growing. You have to increase the number of health facilities. This is what you have done with our partnership. The second thing is to make sure that those health facilities have equipment. With this partnership, we have equipped the hospitals, health centers, and health posts. So the third thing we may forget sometimes is human resources. You can have health facilities, equipment, but if you don't have human resource, you lose everything. So our partnerships also have been focusing on human resource, building capacity of medical doctors, nurses, and other technicians. So this is why within that partnership we have what's called human resource for health. That's the program. We have a program for 10 years in Rwanda, within which we plan the way we'll be training our health professionals. We have every year we have the number of nurses to be trained, a number of doctors to be trained, a number of other medical technicians to be trained. So we have a target for every year and make sure that we achieve that within that partnership. So the additional thing, as you said, is integrate the laboratory system, which we have been working on with the other partners, including the European Investment Bank. We're doing very well.
Now let us come back to security matters. The government of Rwanda has identified the recent report of the UN group of experts as one of the failures of the international community in addressing the security issues that are in the eastern part of the DRC. We have the details with Adams Kwizera.
A report for the UN Security Council and was made by 6 experts. It's a report based on the investigations of the events that took place between November 2022 and March 2023 in the eastern DRC. This report details the financial support, weapons, and political cover provided to the FDLR by the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo and confirms that, along with other illegal armed forces, the FDLR is fighting alongside the Congolese Armed Forces (FARDC), which has on multiple occasions in the past year violated Rwandan territory. Experts in politics and diplomacy in the Great Lakes region shows this report as an excuse based on the failure of the international community in addressing the security issues in this country.
But what is so unfortunate is that when you read this report, it's like they are mentioning them as actors of, accessory actors, whereas they are the ones that they are the principal actors in what happens in Eastern DRC. And, their collaboration with the government forces and other armed groups do not even help the issue of security in the region.
They said if we only said that and did not say something about FDLR, people are going to say that we are extremely biased. So that's why they also identified the activities of FDLR and the collaboration of FDLR with the government of Congo, especially senior officers of FARDC.
In addition, this report ignores ongoing regional peace efforts in which the United Nations is playing a support role and fails to mention the well-documented efforts by the DRC to frustrate the Nairobi and Rwanda processes, including the work of the East African Community Regional Force deployed in the Eastern DRC. Also ignored are the multiple violations against Rwanda's territorial integrity and the DRC's pursuit of the path of an all-out war.
I think not mentioning them, not mentioning any of their actions is just an act of sabotage. They are sabotaging what they have achieved so far, which is in our eyes very, very, very significant, as we can see, everyone can see. If hostilities are not ongoing, it's because of them. If these people are withdrawing from where they had captured, it's because of their efforts. And if today they are trying to see if political negotiations can start and solve this issue once and for all, it's the efforts of the region and the heads of states and any other actor that is acting with good faith, because they want this part of DRC to be secure and be part of the organization.
This report also contradicts the testimonies of thousands of Congolese refugees who over the last 2 decades have been forced to flee to countries in the region, including Rwanda. Since November last year, the government of Rwanda hosted more than 7,500 Congolese refugees. This is where the government spokesperson, Yolande Makoro, points out the failure of the international community in addressing this issue.
It is We've had over 80,000 Congolese refugees in Rwanda for decades now. Since November last year to today, over 7,500 new refugees have come in because of a situation where they're persecuted and it's not safe for them to return home. So when a report like this covers up or sanitizes what is going on and actually blames the victims for their own suffering is put out, then it's really regrettable. It doesn't help to resolve this issue, and it perpetuates the suffering of thousands of people. So this needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed by the DRC, and it needs to be addressed by the international community.
However, the government of Rwanda noted that reinforced defensive and preventive mechanisms will remain in place to guard against violations of the airspace and borders and counter any spillover into Rwanda from any armed group in order to ensure total security for the country. Adams Kwizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams. On Thursday evening, the British High Commissioner to Rwanda hosted a function at his residence marking the celebration of the birthday of King Charles III. We have the details with Jessica Gassaro.
The atmosphere was filled with excitement and patriotism as guests adorned themselves in red and blue attire, symbolizing their love and support for the British monarchy. This event provided an opportunity for the High Commissioner Omar Dahir to highlight the long-standing partnership between the two nations and discuss important global challenges such as climate change, with the aim to promote a sustainable future through various initiatives, including education program, trade, prosperity, and the promotion of art and culture.
Standing side by side. I've mentioned the Ukraine conference already, but on climate change, I would just say that the UK has recently contributed to the Ireme Invest Fund, and we just signed a 3-year partnership with AIMS to work on the impacts of climate change on health. Bilaterally, we also frequently discuss regional peace and stability, which we all know is hugely important for prosperity. And in this regard, I urge Rwanda.
The guest of honor to this birthday celebration party was Manasseh Nshuti, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in charge of East African Community, who talked on how the United Kingdom has been a reliable and consistent partner in the development of our country. The evening was a remarkable celebration of unity and shared values between the UK and the host country. Jessica Agassaro, RTV News.
Now, students of École Le Poussin donated, they have donated equipment, clothes and money, all worth 5 million Rwandan francs to individuals that were affected by the recent natural disasters in Rubavu district. We have the details with Shina Teta.
In cooperation with parents, students from École Le Poussin gathered clothes and shoes worth 3 million Rwandan francs, and the school administration also offered a 2 million Rwandan francs check as donation to help those affected by the previously occurred natural disasters. The donation was received by the administration of Rugero sector. École Le Poussin students say after hearing about the occurrence of natural disasters in Rubavu, they committed to helping those affected.
We saw it in the news, we were deeply saddened, and that is when we decided to donate some facilities to them.
The director and founder of École Le Poussin, Diane Buzingiye, says that their students have always had a helping heart, which made them decide to also donate to individuals affected by natural disasters. We have always had a helping heart. When we heard about the occurrence of natural disasters, we joined our students together with their parents to help our fellow Rwandans who were affected by natural disasters. The executive secretary of Rugero sector, Evariste Nzabahimana, appreciated the donation from the students, affirming that it will be of great benefit to those affected by natural disasters.
People need it because natural disasters destroyed a lot of property. When we receive such help, we value it so much, given it will help people reconstruct their lives.
The donated clothes were kept in stores of Rugero sector, where there are other facilities and food for individuals affected by natural disasters. Shina Teta, RTV News.
Now to judicial matters. Officials in the justice sector have noted that the plea bargaining procedure done when the convicted Individual requests for a lighter sentence has helped greatly in the reduction of congestion in the country's prisons and also reduced the number of pending trials, which means this is a way of delivering justice faster. Sheena Teta once more.
Some of the individuals who were released early on probation expressed that they have changed, ready to get back to their families and contribute towards the country's development. I am pleased with the plea bargaining procedure done after we have accepted our crimes, and I also advise my fellow citizens not to commit any crimes.
Being given a lighter sentence and released earlier than expected, I am going to work hard, develop myself and the country as well.
It is expected that the plea bargaining procedure will reduce the number of pending trials in courts as well as the congestion in prisons, as narrated by the judicial spokesperson.
It has been kick-started from here in the primary court of Kigabiro, where we have almost 50 cases that are being resolved through plea bargaining. We are anticipating that this is a process that is very timely because of especially issues that we have of backlogs, of congestions in the police cells and prison facilities, correction facilities. So we think it's timely in providing timely and quality justice.
The plea bargaining procedure is regulated by the Code of Criminal Procedure in Article 26. It says when the person being prosecuted has explained about what they are being accused of, the prosecutor offers a plea deal to the individual in order to obtain all information needed in the prosecution process, identifying other criminal partners without interfering with the direction of justice. Sheena Teta, RTV News.
It's always a pleasure when you're able to join us for the news here on Rwanda Television. I hope you stay with us. Goodbye.